One pot meal in less than 30 minutes for under $2 a serving.
I don't know anyone these days who doesn't have a busy life, so I'm sharing with you my one pot meal that is both inexpensive, ready in under 30 minutes, and absolutely delicious. Oh, and as a bonus, it is healthy for you. On top of which, if you love recipes like this, then subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you can always be apprised of new exciting recipes. I'm going to pop up on the screen all the ingredients that you need for this dish, take a screenshot of it, and then we'll start making the meatballs. I'm adding basil, black pepper, paprika, garlic salt, onion powder, and a little bit of salt. I'm adding half a cup of breadcrumbs along with 1 egg. Make sure you wash your fingers before you start this because you're going to wash them to get them dirty again. But I want to share with you that I used 1.5 pounds of extra lean ground beef. If you want to make some meatballs for later, double this recipe and half of the meatballs you can put into the freezer for use at another time. This recipe will make you about 20 meatballs, about the size of a walnut. Yes, this is a little bit messy. Get your hands right in there and mix all of these ingredients up before you start making the meatballs. Because I want to limit the number of dishes that I'm going to have to do, I just move it. Once it all's mixed up, I move it to the corner and I take about the size of a walnut, make my balls, and start lining the dish.
Let's start cooking. Turn that stove on, get your cast iron or heavy bottom pot on with some olive oil or avocado oil. Let that heat up. Now we're going to add the meatballs right on top. Try not to let the meatballs touch each other and let them sear for anywhere between 5 and 6 minutes. When they look like this, it's time to flip them over. Let them sear for another 3 minutes or so, and it's time to move them right to the side. You don't have to take them out. I never do. We're going to build some flavor by adding onions. I've used red onions. You can use white onions. Just dice them up. Enoki mushrooms and celery. You can use any type of mushroom, but the mushroom gives it that earthy flavor. Saute these ingredients for 3 to 5 minutes. It's time to add the garlic and, of course, some bell pepper. Bell pepper adds sweetness. I could use either red, yellow, or orange, but definitely stay away from the green. It makes it a little bit bitter. Time to combine all of these ingredients so the flavors begin to merge with each other. After a minute or two, it's time to add crushed tomatoes. You can use canned tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. Either way, just crush them up and add them right into your cast iron pot. This may seem like a strange ingredient, but brown sugar brings this dish all together. It gives that molasses flavor and just a hint more of sweetness that it's yearning for.
Now that I've added the tomato sauce, it's time to add the broth. Really key is that you keep the broth nice and hot when you're adding it, almost to the point of boiling, so that it doesn't reduce the temperature of your entire mixture. That would just take longer for all of this to cook. So I'm adding, you can use mushroom broth, you can use beef broth, and I'm adding the broth right into the pot. And of course, now it's time to add our pasta. Once you've got the pasta in there, you want the pasta to be completely submerged underneath the liquid so that it cooks through and through. We're going to throw the lid on, walk away for 10 minutes, reduce the temperature down to medium at that point, give it another 2 to 3 minutes, stir intermittently in between just to make sure it's well combined, and it's time to put the lid on. If you're looking to spice this dish up, now's the time to do it with some chili flakes or chili oil or some straight chilies. It's halfway through and it's time to give it a nice good stir. Lid goes back on. Back in 5. It's getting there. It's almost done. And we want to make this just a little bit healthier. So I'm adding a handful of spinach. It's just going to get camouflaged right in there and it'll still be absolutely delicious. In it goes. Give it a little bit of a stir so that it gets integrated in.
and the lid's going to go right back on.
I've calculated this out, and even with extra lean ground beef, it works out to about $12 to make this entire dish, and you're going to come out with about 6 portions. So just over $2 or about $2 per portion. Very reasonable, very affordable, and absolutely delicious. Our one pot meal is done. It's ready to take a look at it. Are you ready? Here it goes. How delicious does that look? Let's add a little bit of Parmesan on top of that, and we have a complete meal in less than 30 minutes, balanced, nutritious, delicious, ready to go, and inexpensive. Dinner is ready in 30 minutes. Time to taste, of course. Oh, absolutely delicious. Because we cooked the pasta in all that rich sauce and broth, it's so delicious. Every mouthful is absolutely scrumptious. I hope you take the time to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification button, and join us for more easy, quick, delicious recipes.